Right, everyone. Well, thank you for joining us for today's session. Before I hand it over to Kelly to welcome both everyone to the session, present the topic and our speakers today, I just want to thank everyone for joining us and go over a few quick housekeeping things. You are welcome to ask questions throughout the session. We just ask that you submit those via the chat box, and that will be monitored throughout today's webinar, and we will make sure any of those are answered before we close out today. You will also get a follow-up email with a recording of today's session and any of the resources that are shared, and that will go out later this afternoon. So please be on the lookout for that. So I'm going to hand it over to our Apex Accelerator Director, Kelly, to welcome our presenters, and we will go ahead and get started.
Great. Thank you so much, Jordan. Good morning, all, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Kelly Krieger-Hurrah, and I'm the director of the Illinois APEX Accelerator at the Champaign County Economic Development Corporation. I always like to start out giving a little introduction about the Illinois APEX Accelerator so that if our services could be of assistance to you, we want you to know that we are available. So we fall under the management of the Department of Defense's Office of Small Business Programs, and we're essentially the front door to expand the number of businesses that are not only capable of pursuing, but performing on contracts with the Department of Defense, but other federal agencies, state agencies, and local government agencies as well. And we also work with government prime contractors and support their subcontracting plans. So we're here, our mission is to provide critical education, like what we're doing today, training opportunities, one-on-one counseling, to help those that want to participate with government agency procurement contracts. And our accelerators help to generate new procurement suppliers and support the growth of existing procurement suppliers in the government supply chain. Again, both state, local, and federal. And we know that results in a stronger industrial base, which is very important to our national security, greater competition, and higher goods at a lower cost for the taxpayers. We're also key on our APEX accelerators being critical enablers to open the defense industrial base to small, non-traditional companies who are on the forefront of innovation. We're part of a nationwide network. There are APEX accelerators across the country and in the territories. Approximately 97 centers assist businesses, also on the Native American centers, and they specialize in Native American-owned businesses. So we're helping government contractors across the United States, and we've assisted over 50,000 businesses each year. What you see on this slide is some statistics for your Illinois APEX accelerators. And just a little brief on the left-hand side, introduction of the type of services that we help with. Market research, that's very important to get started in the government ecosystem. Executing SAM, which is mandatory to begin. Reading and understanding government bids and proposals. Certifications, understanding the value and the how-to on getting your business certified in one of the social economic categories. And how do you prepare for those conferences? How do you meet those agencies, etc.? So those are all things that are very important in that space. So we've served over 1,419 businesses in the most recent fiscal year reporting. We do seminars like this statewide and invite all of the businesses that we work with and those new to the market to these webinars that we do. And our staff has conducted almost 6,700 hours of counseling. And we help win those government contracts, 150, approximately $83 million worth. And if by chance we have reached you outside of the central Illinois area, here's just a brief listing of the other centers that are located in Illinois. If one of these are regionally more convenient for you, you'll have access to this listing as well. And we do a lot of training and events like we have today. So please follow us on LinkedIn. And we have the Champaign County EDC, Illinois APEX Accelerator, on LinkedIn. And we also have a website, which is listed there. And what you see here is just a listing of the soon upcoming other educational events, the webinars that we are currently providing. So right now, it's my pleasure to introduce our presenters for today. Our center has a particular interest in supporting the U.S. Army Engineer Research and Development Center, known as ERDC, because one of their 7 research facilities, the Construction Engineering Research Laboratory, we know it as SERL, is right here in our backyard in Champaign, Illinois. So today you're going to hear from their government partner, ERDCWERX, which provides a streamlined path to collaboration and contracting with the ERDC. And now I'd like to turn it over to ERDCWERX Project Innovation Project Manager Elyce Curry and the ERDCWERX team for their presentation.
Thank you so much, Kelly, for having us today. We love our partnerships with APEX Accelerators. They prove to be very fruitful, and we love that you guys serve as a multiplier for our organization. So let me go ahead and get started. My name is, like Kelly said, Elyce Curry. I'm an Innovation Project Manager here at ERDCWERX. I have with me Kimberly Dulaney, and she is with the U.S. Army ERDC Office of Small Business Programs. So without further ado, I do want to just mention that we do presentations like this and partnerships with APEX Accelerators all over the country. And so this slide just really shows the reach of what we're doing to, one, support the APEX Accelerators, and then two, have them support us and act as a multiplier. But I will stop talking and I will allow Kim to go ahead and give her introductions. Kim, you're on mute.
Sorry about that. But good morning. I'm Kim Dulaney, and I am the Small Business Specialist for the Engineering Research and Development Center here at ERDC. And I'll just start with these slides, correct, Elyce, to just talk a little bit about ERDC. So we do have several, 7 labs within ERDC. As Kelly mentioned, we do have the Construction Research Laboratory in Champaign, Illinois, right there. But here in Vicksburg, we do have 4 laboratories as well. We have the Coastal Hydraulics Lab, the Environmental Lab, the Information Technology Lab, and the Geotechnical and Structures Laboratory as well. Our program is a $2 billion plus program and annual research program funding. And here at ERDC, we have about 2,300 employees, and a lot of that is made up of our researchers and scientists. And then the other labs I forgot to mention as well is our Co-Regions Laboratory, which is in Hanover, New Hampshire. We have a Geospatial Research Laboratory, which is in Alexandria, Virginia. So that's kind of a nutshell about ERDC and our different labs, and we'll go on to the next slide. So here are our research and development areas that we do work in. We do a lot in the civil works, military engineering, and our engineering resilience systems. We also do, CREL does a lot of work in the co-regions research for ERDC. And also SERL does a lot with the installation and operations environment. So, you know, making our Army bases smarter and more energy resilient. Below that is our core competencies within ERDC, and you can kind of read those and you can kind of align those core competencies with the different laboratories that we do have. So battle space and terrain, that's more linked up with our GRL laboratory. Civil and military engineering, each one of our labs kind of goes in and out of that core competency. And again, the Co-Regions Lab, again, that's with CREL. And again, that military installations and infrastructure is a heavy hitter with our SERL laboratory right there in Illinois as well. And the next slide. So just to tell you a little bit more about the small business program. So basically, I serve as an advocate for small businesses interested in doing work with the government. So my job here is to make sure we're contracting with small businesses, that they have the opportunities to provide services and supplies and just innovation to ERDC. As you can see, FY24 was a great year for our small business program. We met and exceeded all of our goals. This year, we're kind of a slow start. Right now we have obligated 25 million, and of that 11 million has went to small business. But as you can see, you know, ERDC, we like to say in our community of practice that small business is big business. And as you can see in FY24, we did $197 million to our small businesses with ERDC. So that was huge for us. FY24 was a great year for us. Next slide. So just to tell you a little bit more about what we buy. So our top NAICS codes for ERDC falls within that 541715 R&D. So that research and development, we're looking for the best solutions and innovation, you know, to support our warfighter here at ERDC. Also, another big NAICS code that we have is the computer system design services. That has a lot to do with our high performance computer program that comes out of the information technology lab. But all in all, the services that we do kind of fall in that basic and applied research area. We do a lot of professional technical services. Again, that hardware and software maintenance, and we do a lot with the high performance computing. So ERDC is kind of unique. Typically organizations have one DODAC, but we actually have 5 DODACs. And as you can see, the W912HD represents the labs that's here in Vicksburg. So if you're in the Champaign area and you're interested in opportunities there, you will look under that W9132T NAICS code. And the NAICS code for the rest of our labs that's not in Vicksburg are listed there as well. So another hack I like to call it, like if you're looking for opportunities for ERDC, you can go to the SAM website. I like to do an advanced search, and then the keyword enter W2R2, and you're able to pull up all the opportunities for ERDC, no matter the location. But you know, if you're looking for a specific location, again, you can put in that DODAC number. But if you want to just get a flavor for all of our work, you can do that W2R2 code within your SAM search. And I'll turn it back over to Elyce.
Thank you so much, Kim. I always learn something different, so that's really great. Thank you. I appreciate you being here today. So ERDCWERX is part of a larger innovation of hubs, a larger headquarter of innovation hubs. So that is headquartered in Niceville, Florida. And so it's a 501c3 organization. And so each hub, like ERDCWERX, is partnered with the U.S. Army Engineer Research and Development Center. Each hub that we have all over the country is partnered with a different government entity. So for example, you have HSWERX that's partnered with the Department of Homeland Security. EnergyWorks that's partnered with the Department of Energy, and so on and so forth. And if you go to defensewerx.org, you can join all of these ecosystems to receive project opportunities. And we'll talk more about those. So why a PIA for ERDC? So ERDC's goal for its partnership intermediary, also known as a PIA, is four things. One, it's to expand the network. So ERDC aims to broaden collaborations by engaging with industry partners and academic institutions, industry partners such as APEX Accelerators that can help act as a multiplier to leverage innovation strengths. The agreement is designed to tap into, like Kim said, those cutting edge advancements and specialized capabilities from external partners. And that helps to foster the ERDC innovation relationship and foster research and development. Oh, apologies. Also to save time and accelerate the progress. That is another thing that we focus on here at ERDCWERX. And so that is working with partnerships, that is you all working with partnership intermediaries such as us to reduce kind of that administrative burden. It helps you save time. Well, it helps ERDC save time in their kind of timeline for more research and development that allows us to help kind of manage projects for them and to do the market research and to find the industry and academia that best fits their project goals and needs. And then also simplify the process for industry and academia. You know, one of the things that we do is we help to lift up project opportunities for ERDCWERX, or I'm sorry, for ERDC above the fray of SAM.gov, because it can be cumbersome. And so what we do is we have an easy to use website platform, ERDCWERX.org. You'll see multiple opportunities there. They meet fair and open competition. You'll also find some of these opportunities on SAM.gov as well. And so there's an easy submission process and platform that you can go to submit your brief white paper to any of these opportunities. And it really just helps to accelerate the process. It simplifies it for industry and academia, just using that website alone. And so showcasing opportunities with ERDC. We really do this in 3 different ways. You'll see here, Spin In, that is offering opportunities for external companies and researchers to contribute to government projects through prototype development opportunities. There's commercial solution opening solicitations on our website. In those prototype developments, there's the ERDC broad agency announcement, and those prototype development opportunities, they're contracting opportunities, and they're in military engineering and engineered resilient systems. So those are 2 topics that Kim mentioned earlier in the core competencies. And then we support Spin Out, which is kind of what we call tech transfer. And so tech transfer is about taking government developed technologies and getting them licensed and commercialized. And those will then spin out into industry to hopefully commercialize for private industry, for federal, other government entities, or for the warfighter. And so that's one of the ways that we support ERDC as well, is through tech transfer. And that also looks like cooperative research and development agreements. That is your business coming alongside ERDC to either advance an existing technology that they have, or advance, maybe paying for their time to help advance your technology. The goal is to meet the needs of industry, of the private sector, but also to meet the needs of our warfighters. And that's so critical at this time. We also support ERDC in collaboration events like government to government. Sometimes ERDC is looking for government partners, so we help to support those conversations as well. So the ROI, kind of the what's in it for me, the return on investment, what we have delivered so far for ERDC, which may be beneficial to you and what you're currently pursuing, is we have ERDC has awarded through our platform over 149 awards to industry and academia that total over $860 million. And that grows with every project announced every year. So T2 agreements, those tech transfer agreements, those finding ERDC patented technologies and finding those licensees that want to come alongside ERDC in that work. We supported 17 agreements, and we currently are featuring 35 patents on a separate website, ERDCinnovation.org, that are available for licensing. You can do evaluation licenses, patent license agreements, things like that. And then our ecosystem is ever growing. So if you want to receive opportunities that, contracting opportunities, or opportunities about webinars or events that we're hosting, you would go to ERDCWERX.org and you would join our ecosystem. That is the only way that we can legally email you information about opportunities that ERDC is currently pursuing. And so our ecosystem, like I said, is growing. It's over 26,000 currently, and again, growing every day, and hopefully we'll grow a little more after this webinar. So the how it works process, I love this flow chart because it really explains our role in this process and ERDC's role in this process, and what you as a submitter can expect. So ERDC identifies a need. That need is posted on ERDCWERX.org. We conduct the market research. We announce it on our website. If you're a member of our ecosystem, we email you directly the opportunity that fits your company's need. You would submit a brief white paper. Typically, those are 3 to 5 pages. That white paper is then flipped over through to ERDC, to the researcher in charge of the topic or the project. They evaluate those. The evaluation time typically isn't long, and if it takes longer than normal, then we will notify you that the review process is ongoing. And so then from that, it can take three pathways. It can be either, your white paper could either be not selected, meaning they just, it's something they're maybe not currently interested in pursuing. It can be selected with no funds available. And so what that means is they like what you're offering. That affords them the opportunity to go pursue funding or to wait for funding to become available. And so then your white paper would be placed in what we call the library. And it can live up in the library for up to 3 years. Or it can be selected with funds available, in which case it takes kind of a fast track to a request for full proposal. They can request a demo. They can request a virtual pitch. And then once you go through that full proposal process, that's when that scope collaboration begins. You can talk to them about your needs. They can talk to you about their needs. Everybody's in cahoots about what's going to be needed going forward. And then from that process, the award is made, and then you begin working together. So that's just a really great comprehensive flow chart on how it works when you submit your white paper. And through our digital platform Submittable, which is the tool that you will use to submit your white paper, you can follow your white paper through the process. So this is ERDCWERX.org. This is our spin-in website, which allows contract opportunities for industry and academia. This platform allows you to submit your white paper to engage with ERDC through opportunities that they're currently pursuing. There's opportunities in military engineering, like Kim said, and civil works. If you are working in a cold regions and you do work in austere environments or have a technology where you may engage and do work and pursue work in austere environments, there's CREL, the Cold Regions Research and Engineering Lab. Geospatial research looks like LiDAR, 3D mapping, things like that, if you're interested. So really, ERDC is so diverse. There is something for everybody. I truly believe that if you're on this call and you're pursuing some sort of a business or a technology, you have a technology or a widget, you can find something for you on this website. It's a low barrier of entry. We love non-traditional defense contractors, AKA small businesses. And ERDC loves those, as Kim mentioned earlier. And so we just invite, again, a brief white paper. This is not meant to be cumbersome, 3 to 5 pages. We don't want you investing a whole lot of time if it's something that ERDC is not interested in pursuing, and vice versa. So, and then there's various funding agreements. There's other transaction authorities, and then there's FAR-based contracts as well. And so this is a brief, just kind of project type of announcement that we ran. It's like a use case. This actually came out of the Construction and Engineering Research Lab at CERL, which is in Champaign. So they facilitate the Army Installation Modernization Program. It used to be known as Installations of the Future, to help modernize Army installations across the U.S. And so this was a pilot at Fort Benning. They announced it, and it's really meant to show you the quick path to acquisition that this project took. It was a commercial solution opening solicitation. And so what happened is they announced the project. Well, we helped them announce the project in August. We received 11 submissions. 1 was selected for negotiations. 4 months later, you had phase 1 contracting, that was award happening. And then 6 months later, you had phase 2 happening. And so this is just one of the ways, like we said before, that we help streamline that path, 1 for ERDC and 2 for industry and academia. So this is a really exciting slide. And so other ways that we support ERDC, like I mentioned before, is through tech transfer. And so what that is we have a separate website. It's ERDCinnovation.org. We have about 35 patents currently that are ERDC technologies. They're patented. They are available for licensing and commercialization. ERDCWERX will guide you on that process. We will walk you through that process and assist and consult. We help you, go through the application process. Sometimes we'll help you if you need help writing a commercialization plan to accommodate that application process, depending on the path you decide to take. But it's very much a hands-on experience. Startups, if that's something you're interested in, I would encourage you to look at those technologies out there. We'll showcase a couple of those next. And then also manufacturers. We need manufacturers, steel manufacturers. If this is something you're interested in pursuing, I would definitely invite you to visit ERDCinnovation.org. And then you would fill out an inquiry form that comes to our commercialization manager, Christy. And then we will kind of figure out the best path to take you down and guide you through that process. So those are also opportunities to engage with ERDC on a different level. So this is one of the technologies that is currently on our site. It is the Ready Armor Protection Instant Deployment, also known as RAPID, because government loves its acronyms. And so this is really a cool technology. It is innovative. It's meant to be a rapidly deployable security barrier. And just kind of a fun fact I like about this is that RAPID was used during the 2024 Super Bowl, and it was also used during the 2023 NFL Draft to provide protection at critical venues. So a very needed technology that is available for licensing through ERDCinnovation.org. And so I said ERDC has something for everyone. So you've got your protective structures and systems, which RAPID kind of showed that. That's through that military engineering. But then you also have environmental technology that ERDC works on. So there is an environmental lab. But this technology is really cool and relevant and needed. It's high volume airstream water recovery. And so this technology harvests drinkable water from air or wastewater. It is good in military operations, disaster relief, sustainability, and infrastructure. It can reduce the reliance on traditional water sources. And so this is another example of a technology that is currently available for licensing and commercialization at ERDCinnovation.org. And so this is also another way that we support them by promoting these technologies. And then next steps. So I definitely invite you to go to ERDCWERX.org, view our opportunities, join our ecosystem, go to ERDCinnovation.org if you're interested in pursuing technology for licensing, and we can walk you through that process as well. We are really active on LinkedIn, other social media accounts as well, but you can follow us on those accounts. And then, like I said before, just join our ecosystem. That's the best way to receive direct opportunities that fit what you're currently pursuing to your inbox. And this concludes my slide deck. So I will stop sharing. I don't know if there's any questions, but I'm happy to answer them.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone who presented today's. There are no questions right now, but I know we still have a good chunk of time left. So we're going to hang tight for a minute or two. I know we also had some people join after I had given my little spiel. So I do want to remind everyone, you will get a link to today's recording. So if you want to go back and revisit any information, you will have access to do that as well. So yeah, we'll just hang tight here for a minute and see if anyone submits anything. Kelly, is there anything you wanted to add or questions you see come through often or anything like that?
Yeah, thanks, Jordan. Elyce, thank you for that great presentation, and Kimberly, you as well. I am curious a little bit more about the spin out. One of the things that I wanted to know more about when we first were introduced to ERDC and ERDCWERX was the fact that there is technology available to be licensed in addition to supporting our entrepreneurial ecosystem in their technology development. You gave that great example of the barrier, the protective barrier. Do you have any other thoughts that you could share on that opportunity for businesses that maybe don't have their own technology, but would certainly have a good space in commercializing what you have available?
Sure. I will say that, again, Rapid is a great technology. We also have other technologies that kind of fit that same profile, that can act as kind of a barrier on, for parade routes and things like that. But I will say one of the caveats to licensing an ERDC technology is that that technology has to be manufactured here in the US. So if you already have a built-in manufacturer that you're working with, that is probably a great way to kind of synergize some more. But I definitely think there really is a technology with low points of interest, like kind of a low barrier of interest, but then we have really massive technologies. And we're starting to see more requests for these technologies, especially with, everything that's going on in the world. And so I definitely think that there's something for everybody between the two websites. And I know Christy Bell, she also made a comment, and she is actually our commercialization manager. So do you have that comment? Let's see. So, oh, I think that's for you, Kim.
Yeah, I see it. So the question was regarding the W2R2 search. So if you just want to do a search in SAM.gov, you do not have to be registered in SAM. However, if you're looking to do business with the government in any format, basically FAR contracts, OTAs as well, you do have to be registered in SAM. But if you're just going out there, just looking at the opportunities that's available, you do not have to be registered in SAM to do that. But if you're looking to do business, with the government, you have to be registered in the system.
And Kim, I might add to that. So for our opportunities, especially with OTAs and for the military engineering prototype development opportunity, we don't require you to be registered in SAM.gov to submit your white paper. However, like Kim said, to be awarded, so say you're in the process of completing your SAM.gov, but it hasn't come through yet, you can still submit your white paper. It would just, it depends on kind of how fast the review process goes and the acquisition process. But you are not required to be registered in SAM.gov to submit a white paper to those prototype opportunities. So that's also a benefit.
I could just add in, if anyone does need assistance in your SAM registration, please reach out to your APEX Accelerator. That is one of the many activities that we perform on a daily basis, is assisting clients with their SAM registration. And there are things that you can do, tips and tricks and tools in SAM that can be very helpful in your search. So that registration can be a little bit intimidating, but it certainly is very possible, very feasible, and we'll be happy to help you do that.
And you guys have been great, because we have certainly sent small business to our APEX Accelerator friends to get that done.
Yeah, I have, I know the Mississippi APEX Accelerator here. I have their number on speed dial.
You guys are fabulous.
I do appreciate the services that you provide, because like you said before, it can be kind of tedious and intimidating, but if you have somebody working through the process with you, it's no problem at all. So.
Thank you. Glad to hear it. Well, I don't see
Oh,
any other comments or questions in the chat. So unless we have any other feedback, again, thank you so much for participating today and for giving us an opportunity to spread the word about ERDC and ERDCWERX in the partnership, and hope to have opportunities to engage in the future. Everyone that is on the webinar today takes advantage of the resources and connecting in their ecosystem and see what's available. As you heard today, a lot of opportunities, something for everyone. So please take advantage, and we hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
All right, thanks.